Welcome back. This is round 4 of the Kilpede Open Tournament. If you can't tell, the voice that you're hearing right now is not aligning with the voice of the person that is talking on your screen. That is because while I was recording this round of the tournament, my microphone was not recording any of my audio. I have had issues in the past where it occasionally will disconnect because of a loose cable. Unfortunately, that is what happened here. So you guys are left with the C Money voiceover, but I figured I'd leave my face on the screen so you can see my reactions to the various things that are happening. You can see my mouse movement, and if you're particularly impressive at lip reading, you have that opportunity to know what I'm saying as well. Starting off with the positioning that I have in this game, I've got some positions up in the north by Euskadi, and also Extremadura on the west side with some of my pieces. That's what I'm talking about here right now. Well, the the audio is non-existent. So I'm evaluating the position that we have here because I want to take an early bonus, but I don't want to cut through the 2 that purple has on Euskadi up in the north at the moment. So I also realized my green screen had slightly shifted as well. So that's the black line on your screen. This was a rough go for me as far as recording this goes, but obviously in a tournament I can't record it more than once because we can't replicate the results. So we're trying our best here. I placed quite a bit of troops, 3 of the 4 that I'm getting, down in the bottom there to try to take the Extremadura bonus, which I do get on turn 1 rather. So we're gonna split our troops, make sure that nobody breaks our bonus. So we go into the next round with 2, and I've put an extra troop up in the north there by Euskadi to make sure that I can get that bonus on the next turn. Black is gonna place some troops here, but not actually threaten my 5. Now we're looking at the players. This is Ilo, the red player, playing out of the first position, ranked as, I believe that said a novice. We do scroll back up. They are a novice. The white player is Nostrabor 27, ranked as a master. Obviously, we're not seeing the gameplay here, so I will touch on that when I have the opportunity. The purple player... Oh, no, we're gonna keep looking at Nostrabor. Please enjoy this voiceover. I'm trying my best here. I'll try to make it comedic to fit the gameplay here, is obviously, again, the little guy on screen is not saying anything that you are able to hear. We're talking once again about my position up there. We do see a little bit of purple down below. And we see white's got some central positions, 1 position down in the bottom as well. Scythe is a player here. I don't believe they're actually ranked as a novice. I believe this is their alt account because they could only play on mobile. Maybe we'll take a look at the black player eventually and the pink player, but we're getting there, and I'm trying my best to provide some sort of interesting audio. This is Tama Bread, an intermediate player. We've gotten knocked off that, so naturally I'm going to open him again, or her. I do not know gender, obviously. Decent player, 25% of their games they win, roughly. And maybe we'll get to the pink player finally. We're hovering over Tama Bread again, though. I don't remember this particular part of the map. We have identified that pink is holding a Canary Islands bonus. And now we're looking at Grantis, the other intermediate player, who wins a little over a third of their games. Now, looking at the attack, we do see that purple has failed that initial attack. They're going for another one on Tyrol here, and they fail that one as well, but they have already taken a territory elsewhere, I believe, or going to here. They do pick up their card. Meanwhile, we're going into the next turn with 5 troops, holding the +2 bonus in Extremadura. Placing quite a few on here, or just 1 on each spot, and then we're going to place the other remaining 3 up in the north in Euskadi, or Euskadi. Not fully sure how to pronounce that, but going to solidify our second bonus. So we had decent visibility in the early game here. Obviously, this recording is happening after the game has happened. So looking back on it, I'm able to see some things that maybe I missed before. such as that tiny little white position down in the south might become pertinent for later. We are noticing that black, I prevented black from holding that bonus on the east side. It was kind of intentional, and if we'll see what that's worth if I pull up the menu again. I'll try to remember to mention that. Drinking once again my Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Strawberries and Cream. And black, for some reason, never hits white down there. Never hits white on that lower spot there, which is interesting. Pink, meanwhile, trying to do something in the middle of the board despite holding their Canary Islands bonus. The portals are opened, so we do actually have some visibility on red's position. I didn't realize this at the time, how beneficial that was to know that they were holding that... I think that's the Catalonia bonus up in the northeast, but certainly something to notice that they were holding that early on because we were on a portal able to see that. And then obviously we're going to see here that red is going to be making a move for this Aragon bonus, which ends up being quite a stronghold right now in this position, holding multiple troops across each territory, certainly not going to get broken early on, and I didn't want to risk breaking them at any point in this early game either, because that would just provoke them. Even the best of players can still be provoked. So that is something to pay attention to. The white player slowly moving around in the middle of the board. It is now purple's turn, and purple is somebody that throughout the course of this game, and especially here in the position that we're in currently, we don't have very good visibility on with the positions that we have. They can see our positions with their 2 down at the bottom and their 2 up by our bonus at the top. And they fortify both of those positions with a few extra troops on this turn. I think it's to maintain that visibility and also the ability to move across the map. So keeping an eye on that. And I think this is what I'm trying to identify. The silent C money on your screen is trying to identify. We're now getting 7, so we're the first player to get to a bonus and a troop count per turn of this high. Obviously, if red does maintain the Aragon and Catalonia bonuses, they will be getting more 2 more troops than us because we are holding 2+2s. They are holding 2+3s, which whoever is holding those islands in the east, why they never broke and have not broken at least the Catalonia bonus, I'm not entirely sure. But we're going to take off, and we're going to show red here, and I mentioned this in the attempted recording. Show red that we're not intending to be a threat to them by reducing our troop count on their border by 1 by taking with that specific spot. Not having a bonus, or a card trade-in, rather, on 3. We've got 2 artillery and a cavalry. So sitting here, lying in wait, seeing where all the positions are, but we've got early game bonuses, so making sure that we have the play when we want to for the 70 and when we have the play to potentially go for a kill. Both of those options are on the table if need be. Meanwhile, the pink player now, we do see that they are getting the 5 troops, so we know that they have that Canary Islands bonus because we saw a chunk of their troops down there before. And we see the white holding down in the lower part of the map a 3 there, meaning they're not really a huge threat to that bonus. Now, with 9 troops, red is got both of their +3s, and they are becoming a threat to really everybody in that northeast corner, which obviously includes me, but also black and white existing in that region, and then whoever's holding the islands to the east. I believe at some point I have figured out that those islands to the east, maybe not entirely, but to some degree, are being held by purple. I believe purple has a bonus. We'll see on their next turn if they have that, because we see pink up in Galicia, and we saw them also down in the Canary Islands, so obviously the purple player not holding those positions in full at the moment. Meanwhile, red is sitting on a portal down in the bottom of the map. We have control over a portal in the center, and the white player has knocked black out of that center position as well, and will fortify onto their 7. Our turn coming up next. We'll see what purple does first, if we're even able to see any of it. We only see 2 of purple's positions. They are certainly the player who is most scarce in our knowledge as far as where the majority of their troops are located, and they have attacked through a portal onto the purple, or the pink 4, I believe it was, up there, they just struck down on. So that is quite the hefty attack that we do see coming in from that player. And now we only see one of Pink's troops, but we know that they still control the Canary Islands down there. Trying to decide what to do with our 7 troops. I'm going to put a couple on the border of Aragon with red, just to make sure that they don't get any funny ideas, and then also a few on the other side in case I need to strike down any players on that edge. Now, we're going to put the rest in the center, and then we're going to attack towards some of the territory that we already have, which I don't do yet, but we're going to do now. So we connect to our 5. That way, if we need to reinforce any of these positions afterwards, we have the ability to do that. But I pull back because I don't want to look like a threat to white at this point in time. We do see the black bonus come in. We know that black doesn't have that eastern position. They don't have the southern position where that red 8 is, which means almost certainly they're getting their +2 down in Ceuta and Melilla, the 2 Moroccan, well, Spanish Moroccan cities that are exclaves of Spain. And that is where black's control is going to be. We obviously did see a little bit of their hold on our eastern side earlier, so we know that their presence is generally in the lower portion of the map. Now, this turn is pink, so we get to find out, is pink going to retaliate on that purple take? Doesn't look like it at the time. They take where they need to and fortify on whatever position they're at, but we no longer see that purple 11 that we saw before because of the reinforcement, or rather rotation of the unstable portals. Meanwhile, we do see that 8, now a 12 from red, rotate and take out that white position on the lower portion of the map. Red has come into view and is now holding a border against both black's Ceuta and Melilla and pink's Canary Islands. White, meanwhile, trades in. They're going to do the second trade in of the game behind red, who has already traded in, and they're going to potentially hit pink here on this next go. Which doesn't happen. They actually hit me, but they're sitting next to pink in case they need to try to take that. So white has been held without a bonus for the entirety of this game. This is where we notice that purple's working with a +3. And I think at one point I thought it was Galicia, but I knew that pink was quite close to that, so I ended up changing my deduction over to the islands in the east. I believe they're called like the Boreales or something along those lines. I think that's where like Ibiza and Majorca are. I think that quite literally translates to the Barrier Islands. So looking at our position now, we've got red again, mostly in the northeast, but does have that 12 down in the southwestern portion of Spain. We're just making our positions a little bit stronger. We haven't gotten our trade in yet. That'll come on the next turn. And then the center position, I did want to sit on a portal here, but I decided the portals aren't even open. It's not worth it. Let's gain some visibility on where pink's additional positions are. Which we do still see some in the northern portion of Spain, which was what that was, almost a bit of a recon mission, if I may say that. So the black player now, they're going to place a couple troops right next to our border. And I believe they take north here. And so we still maintain a connection to our 6 from our 7 with that territory in the +10 region up in the north there, despite black knocking out the connection that we had in the center right next to white. I could not tell you what I'm looking at here other than the bonuses. I think this is me identifying that black is in fact in Ceuta and Melilla, and a guess that purple and pink might have some control, pink in the east and purple up in the northwest. We knew that black did not have control over the Barrier Islands because of the only +2, and that bonus is a +3. Meanwhile, we notice red getting quite the fortification here early on their Aragon position with 10s all around. They decide not to break us here, which is respectful. Fist bumps to this man. I don't think I threw him the fist bumps in game, but if I could, in hindsight, shout out to my guy Ilo for not hitting me there. Much appreciated, because I think that they could have hit me without much ramifications just because of how solidified their position is in the north. So this is me, I believe, trying to figure out where exactly purple's bonus is. I think I must have thought that it was up in the northwest, but I think they were fighting over that position with with pink rather, quite a bit. So purple does have a little bit of a position down here in the south as well. So we're getting into the thick of it. A lot happening. People's trade-ins coming through. We're going to have the next trade-in here on a set of 5 on the next turn. But in the meantime, we're going to have to wait for purple to make their move. They are going to hit onto the portal, which will allow them to gain visibility into red's position in the northeast and also that position next to white in the northwest. Here comes our 10 trade, though. So we'll get to see exactly what to do here. I was looking at the various territories. I decided that since Salamanca was right next to where I was, I didn't want to trade that in yet because I could get the bonus on it if we potentially won over that white position directly above our 7. So we do trade in. We've got 17 troops on this turn to place, and I decided against placing them all in one spot. We're going to fortify our positions a little bit just to make sure that like white doesn't get any funny ideas trying to come for us. And also I wanted to strengthen that position on the east just so red would have to spend a lot if they tried to remove me from there. And then I wanted to gain the visibility of this. We see that there's a pink position up in the northwest. We obviously see red's position in the northeast. And then I decided to come off because I wasn't attacking on that particular spot. We also saw black's 9 down in Ceuta. We do have a trade-in on the next turn. That's something to keep track of. We are on 3 cards. So a 3-card trade-in is quite good, and it actually has a +2 bonus, I believe, on one of the territories that we hold currently. Everybody else on 3 cards as well, except black, who's going to be on 3 cards after this turn, and pink, if they take, will also be on 3 cards. Black taking a couple extra troops here, dipping into our hold. I believe they were trying to gain visibility of what was being held up in the northeast, both by red and myself. So they see that I'm holding an 11 and 12 up there. They decide, I'm not going to engage this. An extra bonus up here, obviously not worth it. And especially in the early game, those 2s and 3s bonuses, people will challenge for them, provided it doesn't mean that they screw their own game over, which is, I challenged for it slightly, just kind of signaled to purple that I'm going to take this bonus. Please don't try to take it. As far as the north bonus there, and then the west bonus, we just grabbed pretty much from white script. They didn't even try to challenge us for it because we had too much of a presence on it. Red is getting beefier with their 9 additional troops each turn. So that is certainly threatening, and that person sitting right on our border is a little bit dangerous. But now they've seen we've got a 17 down here, although they actually had the 1 right on our border, so they knew that that was there. Evaluating all of the positions, we're going to see that white places here. And something to note, this is when I'm gearing up, and I'm talking about this as we speak. This is no longer a spoiler. I didn't want to spoil this earlier on, but now that it's pertinent, I'm currently calculating a potential kill on white. I see them on 4 cards, and I see my positions, especially with my 17 near them, that I could potentially strike this player down. But earlier I had mentioned that we did see black not taking a white position down in the south of the map. I want you guys to keep that in mind when my turn comes up here. As we do have a trade-in on 3, if we kill the white player, we'll be on 5 cards on the next turn. I deemed it as a good attempt, something to try to make a move here. Unfortunately, you'll see my 8 on the east side of the map is going to have some distance to leg out, and we're going to do a little scouting here. So we're going to take our trade-in. We've got 19 troops coming out of this, with 2 placed on automatically on one of our Extremadura positions. So we only go 11 here, which I think in hindsight probably a mistake on the east side there. So I hit here and I see, oh, there's no white position here. It's just black in the way. And I'm like, all right, I can kill white. Problem is that I go for this kill here, I hit this, and I haven't hit them. And I didn't want to take, and I go one more just to see, and I didn't want to take the pink 5 down there because I wasn't sure how many I'd have left. And I didn't want to risk giving up too much of my positioning. And I back off without the white kill. Now, black saw me hit white in the center of the board. So black now has the option to make a smart move. I drop my oops because I have messed up. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself because I've realized that the white does have the position down here. Black attacks down, and that is going to be the white player eliminated. I missed it by 1 spot. I snap my fingers because I'm a bit disappointed in myself, and that is tough. Black gets the trade in instead of me. They're getting 10 extra troops. They have now a position to potentially run the board on an upcoming turn. Obviously, red is quite strong. Black's actually going to hit back up into me and take a quick peek at the east side, and now is actually taking, finally, that eastern bonus because I've given up that control. Meanwhile, I've got 2 floating 10s and a floating 8 with my bonus completely undefended, and the pink player doesn't know that that bonus is undefended, so he's not going to come for it. The purple player and the black player, actually, don't retaliate, or at least at this point in time, we see black not retaliate. Pink slaps purple. So pink makes the exact same mistake that I did, thinking that purple didn't have an additional position elsewhere. Mind you, purple has 2 additional positions elsewhere, which we'll see on the next turn when their bonus and the barrier islands is still held, and obviously this 8 down here that we see directly below our bonus. So red actually hits that, but for some reason, red never goes fully into the barrier islands. I believe purple must have had some chunk of troops over there that deterred red from trying to attack it by risk of thinking that they were going to potentially die. So it must have been enough to deter that player. Now, on my next turn, I'm not playing with any sort of bonus. We see that pink is weak. We've got an 8 on 5 here. I've noticed pink is weak. Purple gets their trade in. Now they're certainly not going to be removed from that eastern position, and purple will kind of just exist for the final 5 minutes of this game. So at this point, with all due respect to purple, we can basically write off their chances of winning the game. We can also write off pink's chances of winning the game. I'm on 59 troops. I've got a chance. Black has a chance. We've seen their hefty troops. They're on a 5 trade as well, and they bonused off of that kill of white. So I'm trying to see, can I make a run for it, and can I kill pink? We see a lot of weak territories in the south here. So we hit that, and we're actually going to go and try to take the pink position over here, but he's got a 7. Oh no! We're able to get it, but we just noticed the 12 up there. Can I try to hit that without losing too many troops? I lose a couple troops on those takes there. I don't want to go through the black 9. At this point, I say, all right, I can get right up next to him. I can hit it. He doesn't lose enough when I hit it. Now I try to see, can I go for the win? I'm at 59%, but it's just not doable. My troops aren't positioned. That 10 in the center, not positioned to attack red to the east. We're going to go fortify our position on the left-hand side, setting ourselves up for the pink kill on the next turn, provided that black or red isn't able to win the game right now. Obviously, that's a little bit scary. Black trades in. They've got perfect position to wipe through all of our troops. But does this player move fast enough? They're going to the east. They go take a peek at purple. They see they can't kill purple. What are they going to do now? They've frozen themselves for about 6 or 7 seconds. That could be crucial time. They go down. They hit right up into red. Where are they going to bring the 20 here? They go to the east. And they're going up. They decide not to go to the left. And they split here. I think this might have been the positioning where black splitting maybe was a bit of a mistake, but they're going to take all of these territories down in the bottom. They don't take the 3, though. They're at 53%, 55%, 57%. Oh, and their turn ends on time. 57% black is able to get to, and I think they had the troops to take the full 70 if they had enough time, but they did not. Pink, meanwhile, going to take a card, and that's it. We see all 11 troops that pink has remaining in this game. Meanwhile, red coming in with the trade. What is red going to do? We know they've got some strong positions. What are they going to hit? It's probably a lot of black to start this because black hit a lot of us. We've got 23% of the board. Black has 48 and dropping, 44, 42. It's going down. We now see red taking that bonus over there. And red's going to hit the 5 here. After hitting the 1, and they actually take it, only losing 2 troops. Meanwhile, red running through a bunch of our stuff does not hit pink, mind you. Purple's got the next turn, and now we have no visibility on the center of the board. We still have our 10 down in the Canaries, though. Red saw that, chose not to hit it, and that's why they hit our 5. And he runs out of time. Red on 68% runs out of time. He had the game. He just needed to attack my 3. He needed to attack my 4. He nearly had it. He's not going to get it. And him not getting it on that turn is going to give me a bounty. 3 points for C money. Another player eliminated. Now, if no more bounties grabbed, the 3 ties for second will pick up 8 points. The bounty will be an additional 3. We're poised to get 11 points from this round. We try to gain some visibility. We try to hit through red, but it's not going to be enough. Red's on 55%. What is black going to do? Are they going to take a bunch of this territory? They've got an 8 down there. They could run through quite a bit. We've got a trade on 5, but red's sitting at 55%. 53 now. And dropping. Black probably could have made a bigger dent here, but they're going to fortify. And the red player on 51% with stacks of 8 and stacks of 11 is going to secure this win with just a few takes. Now, red was getting 12 troops that turn. And in hindsight, I'm not entirely sure why the red player didn't go for a kill on purple. Would have bolstered the points of me and black, and also given them a bounty. But instead, they are going to win the game. ILO is your winner. I tied for second place with black and purple. Last place is white, only due to a bad spawn. And the pink player will come in 5th. Thanks for watching, everybody. Apologies for not getting the proper audio recording and also having the issues with the green screen on the screen. Thank you for bearing with me. I really hoped I was going to be able to take home this win here. I really hope the audio was going to be working because I thought that I commentated quite a good game here. But I hope this voiceover was all right. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. As always, comment if you want to give any feedback. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've been C Money. Peace.